Hi, I'm Drea. Thanks for joining me on Vermilion Lane today. I can't wait to get started on our fall burlap wreath. Make sure that you've got all the materials that I'm just about to outline for you, and watch the video a few times if you like. I'm going to go step by step, super slow, so if you're a beginner or if you've been doing this for a while, it's going to be super duper easy. Here we go. I got these from Walmart. They are about 30 feet each, and I purchased them for just a little over $3. So what we're going to do is just unroll about 2 feet, about 24 inches of this, and then we're going to fold it over just like that. Nothing fancy. I'm going to work first with my pipe cleaners, and I'm going to show you how to secure your burlap with that first, and then once you're really comfortable doing that, I'm going to show you how to do it with the twine. So I'm going to find a breaking point in my wire wreath frame, and you'll find that there's several along your frame. So I'm just going to find one of them, and that's going to be kind of my starting and of course ending point too. So I'm going to slide my burlap right up under the inner rim. Slide it up and then under. Now I'm going to secure it on this breaking point, on this little bar here. So you're going to see I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times there. Then I'm going to take a pipe cleaner. I've got a black one because I'm going to be doing some Halloween crafts with my kids later. But I highly recommend if you can get a tan or brown one for your burlap. It's just so much easier, to kind of camouflage them as you go along. So I'm just going to flip this over so that you can see. I'm going to twist to secure this in place. Really easy peasy stuff. We're going to retwist all of these once we're done to make sure everything's super secure. So I'm going to flip this back over. And this is the part where I really want to make sure that you're following me. I'm going to keep this folded over just as I showed you a few moments ago. And now that area where I had originally slipped it through, I'm going to puff that up with my finger. I'm actually using my thumb here to push that up to make my initial loop. Does that make sense? Once I've done that, I'm going to continue pushing up through 2 wires to make another loop. Let me show you what that looks like here. That's what it looks like from your vantage point as you're doing it. Continuing with that, I'm going to keep this folded. Don't forget that part. And then I'm going to push up again to make a 3rd loop. That is all it takes to make a burlap wreath. So as we're doing this, we're going to go along working in 3s. Once I've got 3 loops on 3 sections, I'm going to flip my wire frame back over. I'm showing you all of this nice and slow because I want to make it really easy for you to follow along when you're done. I'm going to grab one of my pipe cleaners and I'm going to secure my burlap in place. This is very awkward. It's not going to feel good. You're going to be worried that it's too loose, but don't worry. You can tighten as you go. You can go back when you're all done and make sure that all the loops are perfect. For now, we just want to get everything secured because this is going to be our base. And so we want to make sure that it's nice and taut so that we can continue going around and our burlap won't unravel on us. And you're going to cut about a dozen of these to get you started. And rather than use a pipe cleaner, of course, you'd simply slip your twine underneath, come up, and give it a really good tie. Now, I'm not going to tie this particularly taut because I don't plan on using twine for this particular wreath, but I just want to give you a sense of what that would look like. Okay, so continuing the same trend, right along the same line that I started with, I'm going to come up with a puff, a loop. No more than about 2-3 inches up with that loop. Do you see what that looks like? So the purpose of this next set of 3 is to camouflage where I've secured this set of 3, and especially that little part where we started things. So keeping that in mind and working with my burlap, it's never beautiful to start. Don't worry. If you've been crafting with me before, you know I like to go really slowly, and I like to show you every step of the process, even when it looks messy, even when it's not perfect. And the reason behind that is, if I'm truly a crafter and I'm trying to, you know, like do tutorials and show you what I'm doing, you don't want to just see the finished product. You don't want to see how pretty a job Andrea can do. You want to be able to replicate this at home, and I want to make sure that you're able to do so. Okay, so I've got another set of 3 loops. Time to secure again. So as of right now, August of 2015, my website store is down. The website is up. The blog is blowing up, and I'm just so blessed and happy for how well it's been received. However, my reeds and crafts that I had been selling online will be back up again. My hope is like mid-September of this year, 2015. And if you're watching this in like 2020 or 2030 or some crazy year, a long time from now, just the thought of that is like super cool to me. That's really why I do this. It's just so much fun, the thought of reaching so many people and being able to show them what I make at my little home right here on Vermilion Lane. I'm going to cut off a little more than I need. Then I'm simply going to twist it through, pull it around and over. Use a piece of my twine to secure that down. So next, once I've got this nicely fluffed, it is time for our fall sign, which I'm going to place in place using my twine. And I'm going to be sure to use my twine because I really don't want the pipe cleaner to be seen. And the twine against the burlap, as you can tell, it's almost impossible to see it. Okay. And so to just add an additional punch of color, I'm going to pop these all the way around. And again, whatever works best securing them for you, but I'm just going to bend these. Take this long stem, tuck it under, bringing my flowers across to the top, bending them in whatever position works. Does that make sense? Okay, and then with twine, I'm just going to secure that. I like a much more rustic look, so I'm going to take for my red flowers, I'm going to add one of the green ones to again sort of repeat somewhat of a pattern, but not so much that it becomes predictable.